Good morning, student. Today we will start with the computer subject. In this computer subject, your first chapter is Introduction to Computer. All we know that nowadays computer is typically used by all the sectors. Now computers are multi-purpose machines that can be used for verify the problems as well as used for the solving different type of problem. Computer are used in industries, government, education, research, as well as entertainment sectors. From routines business activities in a given area to a spectacular task, computers are applicable everywhere. Now, working of computer. As we all know that computer is a multitasking. Now, the typical computer working, first of all, I want to say that all we know that calculator calculate the calculations. Now the painter do their painting, driver drives the car. That means computer doesn't mean that it's only calculate or compute anything. It is used for the multi-purpose also. Now we can play games on computer, we can do online shopping on the computer. All the things is possible nowadays. Now for that particular applications are used. To develop that application we need proper instruction. This proper instruction is followed by the flow charts. These flow charts are then developed as a program for the computer. Now computer is a proper set of instruction to perform the operation like bills, reserving tickets, printing mark sheets, as well as it is used for communicating messages. Computer are also deal with audio, video, graphs and animation beside the text and numbers. Now once the computer is given data and step-by-step instructions, it then perform computations and generate result or perform an action and give us an output. Now this is the process of computer, how the computer work. First of all we know that computer is working on input. After input it will work on process and then it gives us output. Now here it's input. What input means? Input is given by the user. Input means take data, instructions from user. Process means whatever the program is installed in a computer, perform the task on that input data. After the processing, give the proper output. It might be possible that output will be come on screen also as well as hard copy on the print by printer also. Furtherly, it is not compulsory to repeat instruction and enter large amount of data every time. One of the best feature of the computer is to store data as well as instruction. As we all know that once you have installed a program in a computer, you just have to input a data. It will work on it and give us output. It is not compulsory to every time use to not every time you have to install a program and give the input and you can get the output. Computer can store large amount of data for many years, for many centuries. Now this concept is known as a stored program concept. Now after that, next is a simple list present that simple application to highlight the use of computer, where the computer are used. Where the computer are used. So first of all, ticket reservation, bank operation, inventory management and manufacturing support. Now what is this? When you go for the particular shopping, they support their inventory, means they track a record that how much item are sold and how much items are remain in their inventory. So computer is useful for them. Entertainment such as playing games, composing music and editing the movies. It is also used for teaching. Nowadays it is compulsory to use computer or mobile for the teaching, for the online teaching. Then financial account, it is easy by the computer to maintain the account of their financial, because they have to just enter the input for the amount only, and the computer will calculate all the amount and give them proper output. Now after that, correspondence and publishing means we always read newspapers. For writing application we need a computer. Sometimes we written it by our hand also, but nowadays it is used to computer to write a proper application. For the printing of pages, for the printing book, it is compulsory to write the data on the computer. Now space application, space, all the things managed by here by the computer only. Now robotics and email and chatting and website development. Now simple model of computer. As I further explain you about that, key simple model of a computer. It is work on which input, processing and output. Input, for the input means we have to feed the data into computer, that I have already told you. Now for the feed the data we can use input devices like keyboard and mouse. Some of the input devices also, that we are going for a mall for the shopping, they use the barcode gun. When it barcode the product, it will scan it by the gun, and the product price and all the things display on its computer screen. So it is also a one type of input device. After that, input provided through the input mechanism, it is stored in a memory and further processed by a mechanism called the processing unit. Now three units are there: input unit, processing unit and output unit. Now what is the work of input unit? It will get the input from the keyboard, mouse, scanner. Now in the output, for the processing, whatever the data given by the input, it will be stored and make a proper instruction as follows by the user, and then process on that data. After that, result are represent user through on the output mechanism called the output unit, and the output will be displayed on output unit. Typically output devices are monitor and printer. As I told you that output device that are generally used for monitor and printer. Monitor give us soft copy, printer give us hard copy. Hard copy means it will give us print on a paper. Now in short, input, memory, processor and output are the basic components of typical computer. Now see that input, memory, processor and output are the basic components. Now input unit. Input unit provide the facility to enter data and instruction into the computer. Input mechanism supports many devices like keyboard, mouse, joystick, barcode reader, that I have given you the example in the mall, that you purchase anything, barcode reader will barcode all the things. Now universal serial bus, nowadays USB port. Always our charger is depend on USB port. All the pen drive are the USB port. It all are the input devices. As well as you have seen the hard disk also, CDs also, DVDs, that all are also input devices. It is possible that you can store the data in the hard disk or CD, and you can use it as a memory device also. Different input devices take the different forms of input and send it to the computer memory. Some of the example is here. For example, use a keyboard to enter data and instruction in very much similar to the use of a typewriter. Before days they are using the typewriter for the input. Nowadays the keyboard is already inbuilt your computer as well as in your laptop, so you can easily type the data and get the output. Now another way to input data is reading through the barcode reader. The shopkeeper uses a small device and press a button on a device with the sound of beep, and the barcode printed on the tag, the biscuit pack, is read and copied to the computer. As I give you further This is all about the barcode reader. Mouse is also used for input data. Nowadays we are using mouse for the double clicking. It is also one of the input. Mouse is a device that controls the movement of a pointer. All we know that if we want to move the mouse, if you want to move the cursor, you need mouse also. It is a small object with a few buttons like keys. 3 button, 2 button mouse are there. As mouse is moving on surface, the pointer on the display screens also moved. Means when you move the mouse, the screen pointer also moves. A mouse must have at least one button. Most of the input device converted the data into a machine readable language. All we know that computer understands only binary language, which is 0 and 1. So all the input data convert the data into machine readable form. Now after the input unit, it's a memory and control unit. What is this memory and control unit? Memory and control unit collect the data from the input devices. These input devices, it is not at all compulsory that it will used for the permanent. So for that there are two types of memory in the computer: primary memory as well as secondary memory. Primary memory are the memory which are get lost when you turn off the computer. Primary memory's best example is RAM. So when you want to it use for the further more operation, you have to store it in a secondary memory. Means you have to store the data in the hard disk or your CD or your DVD. But if you are using anything data that is for the temporary, after the completing the process, you do not need in a future, that time you can use the primary memory, because primary memory will lost when you switch off your computer. Clear? So some computer memories are capable for the remembering the content for the very short duration. This is called the volatile memory. Another name of the primary memory is a volatile memory. Like a secondary memory, the another name is non-volatile memory, as well as auxiliary storage. The secondary storage is not volatile. As I have already told you, volatile memory, non-volatile memory. This might be possible. It will ask you in a MCQ also what is the another name of the primary memory. The input from different devices goes first to the main memory and will be retained into the memory electronically. The content will remain in the main memory till the computer is switched off. As I told you that when you switch off the computer, main memory means primary memory will be lost. If you want to store it for a long time, you have to use the secondary storage. Like here is the example: hard disk, compact disk are the most popular storage devices. Unlike the primary memory, and the secondary memory is non-volatile, slow, less expensive and large in capacity. Now, our next topic is output unit. Now, output unit is normally a visual screen called a monitor. The monitor is actually refers to the whole box of the visual output mechanism of a computer. All we know that whatever we are pressing on a keyboard, we can only see on a screen. Display screen is a part of monitor. Many times we use monitor to display screen as a synonyms. The older monitor used to provide the black and white gray shade output. So as per your mobile, nowadays smartphones are there, but before the smartphones there are the black and white phones also. So in the computer it is also the same. We are using now a featured computer, featured desktop, but before that they are using the black and white screen desktop or the black and white screen computer. The older monitor used to provide black and white and gray shade output. Presently colored monitors that are capable to presenting variety of information such as high quality of graphic animations are available. Now we can see that all the latest computer are having the different visuality, different animations are available. Now the output sound special device as a speaker or headphone that we are using. To print the output, printers are used. Optionally, output is also directly displayed on the website and sent it file to the via internet. Now you can see the figure. It's the input. Now between that control unit, ALU, and the output. In the computer processing unit, there are the memory also, primary memory and the secondary memory. Now next topic we will continue in the next lecture. Till that, please read all the things that are explained you and try to revise all the things. Clear? Thank you.